Because I had to work with media, with journalists, to sort of be sort of the intermediary between the interviewee and the interviewer, the journalist. So it allowed me to be very careful with my words in how I present these, in how I want their stories to be presented. It's very important because you don't want the journalist to get the wrong idea, or not wrong idea, but you don't want the journalist to get an idea of the narrative that is divergent from the actual narrative. So sometimes journalists will take their liberties to
suit their own like narrative, their own publications like agenda.
And it's not a wrong thing to do lah. Sometimes you have to draw out the pull factor a bit more. So sometimes you would tend to
blow it up a bit bigger than it is.
Sensationalize
it, I guess.
So it was very important to also balance sensitivities, and also to draw the key messages properly. So I would say that it's helped me to find the narrative and to tell it more strongly. I think that's where that's where I've most improved on.
Yeah, it sounds like you were like the gatekeeper of these people's stories in a way. And do you think that was a bit of your role also?
Yeah, so it was very important, especially with the second incident, right? It was so important to be understanding of the family, and because we had to film in the hospital itself, and then we had to be wary of the amount of time we take to film, because the kid cannot leave the ICU room too long. And the kid, if he starts crying, we have to stop there and then the story is gone, right? So there were so many sensitivities, and then you also have to balance like your client. Of course, first and foremost, you have to balance your client's requirements, which is to share the positive message of the run. Running with your fellow army mates. That was the key message that you have to always bear in mind. And then you have to balance the sensitivities of the family, and then you have to also balance the journalists and their own what they're looking for in a story. It's very it's not easy, but it's very fulfilling when you come across stories like this.
Okay, and like from there, what were the obstacles that you encountered on the job?
The biggest problem for me, I would say, is I tend to be quite stubborn, and I'm not a very good communicator. So I think this is such a irony, because my job as a communicator is to communicate well with different parties, be the intermediary basically. But my biggest weakness was communicating with my own colleagues, my struggles and my difficulties while doing the job. So because I was so used to a certain way of working, so I for the most part, for the first maybe 2 years of my career, I was very focused on working in a single team, because our agency is very lean. Each of us hold about a few accounts, and I was so used to working alone, of course with my manager's oversight, overseeing everything, but slowly in between my second and third year, we decided to be more, my management decided to play a more hands-on role in all the accounts, so we had to work across several accounts and communicate more. But then my juvenile thinking was very slow go through that change, and that's why that was my biggest problem lah. I had some difficulties with communicating with my seniors about it.